Excuse me? Excuse me?
I'm just gonna scooch in right here if you don't mind. Shh. We've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty.
If I broke in your crib and ate all your Cheerios with my fork, what would you do? What could you do? What could you do?
What are you doing? You're not a cat.
I must talk about Heather McDonald and Megan Weaver. It sounds like Megan was auditioning for Real Housewives of the Desert, except she was the only one that knew and there were no cameras. Megan is not the keeper of all socialites, you know? Who put you in charge, bitch?
But my sister and I were in Palm Desert and we met up with Kelly Dodd and Megan Weaver, who is best known for being on Jeff Lewis's TV show, Hollywood Houselift, as well as a regular on his radio show. And I have known her for years. She's been on this show as an individual guest a few years ago. And I was thrilled to have a fun day with them. We had a fun day and met up at Kelly Dodd's house that night, in which we were having a great conversation. And then she turned to me and said the most cruel things that anyone has ever said to me, to my face in my life. She did it in front of several people, and including my sister, the attorney. And it was horrible. And I left in tears, and I went back to my sister's house and I recorded a Patreon from my phone, not knowing if I would share it. It was awful. And I have spoken to Jeff. I shared my story. We've been friends for so long, for over 15 years. We've never gone 6 months without seeing each other in person. You know, I've been on a show from the very beginning. I've known Kelly Dodd since 2014. It was so bizarre. And I was made to feel that, you know, these people that are on his show don't like me. There's been a lot of talking about me behind my back. And it was an awful feeling because every time I would do that show, I would be thrilled to go and left there on a high and feeling like the people in that room enjoyed me. She made it very clear that they do not. I'm confident that Jeff and I can remain friends. I will never do his show again. That's how I feel. He hopes that I change my mind. At this point, I don't think so.
Not into all the other bullshit. I think
What other bullshit?
the they and them
Yeah.
and all that extra shit that we added during the pandemic because everyone was so bored on their fucking houses. They just started to make up more shit and more shit.
More stuff.
Yeah. That's why the conservatives like me because I'm just real.
Yeah, you do have a conservative
you're not
vibe
they
to
and
you.
them. You're trans, you're male, or you're female.
And you're
And
standing on
people
that.
get so mad when I say that. How are you a they? What the fuck does that mean? It's stupid is what it is.
Yeah.
But you need someone like me that looks like me to say it. Because if you say it, it turns into you're homophobic. You hate trans people. You hate gays. And it's just how you feel. You don't hate anyone. You just think it's stupid.
So first of all, like I said, Silicon Valley Bank basically went from being one of the biggest banks in the US to shutting down in the course of about 24 hours. It was pretty amazing to see how quickly that can happen. And they say it's the second largest bank failure in US history. Only Washington Mutual was bigger. And that one happened in 2008 during the last, basically, financial system collapse. But anyway, when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, his first comment was basically, oh, there's going to be a lot more after this one. Basically what he was saying is every single bank is in the same boat as Silicon Valley Bank.
Good morning. Today we are talking about this. There is a girl on this app that made a video going over this and educating people on the Farmer's Almanac. And I've talked about this in my lives and things like that before in the past. And I just need to, she pointed out something that's so important and I need you to know this. I saved and favorited the video and it fucking disappeared. Screenshot this. Okay. This is on the chart saying do not ever reuse it and drink out of it. But this is what our food comes in. Peanut butter too. Pretty much everything. Now you tell me, like she said in her original video, why you can reuse cleaning bottles, but you cannot reuse food. What our food already comes in. Our food is sitting in a fucking hazard. But the point of my video and why I wanted to stitch hers and tell you this information, and I thought it was so important, is because I grew up with my father, the almanac, the old almanac was his Bible. Like that's how farmers tell the weather. That's how there's so much useful information. Like if you're a homesteader farmer off grid and you haven't read the almanac, like are you really? JK, but like for real. This is it. Take it, study it, live by it, let it grow old in your house. Well, I'm going to speak for all the real farmers on this app and the ones that are out working their ass off that don't have time to talk to y'all but see what you're doing. Chickens make eggs. So when a lot of chickens aren't making eggs, there's a problem. And that's just real farmer chicken math. If you didn't have TikTok, well, I bet you wouldn't walk up to Mr. Hardesty's farm and call him a conspiracy theorist. If you didn't have this app and your chickens weren't laying, now would ya?
When all of the companies have the biggest two stakeholders, important news will be suppressed. For instance, the Norfolk Southern derailment. We would not have known about that. How serious it was if it was not for TikTok. This directly affects all of our lives. But why are none of the things that are happening environmentally in Ohio being talked about on the mainstream news? Why is the only place that we see things like this on TikTok?
So I want to address this. Real tea time. So everyone's posting these videos about, oh my God, they're going to ban TikTok. They're going to ban it from every device in the United States. First and foremost, do not believe it's China, it's Intel, it's information. Oh my God, I know people that work for the United States cybersecurity, and I'm going to tell you right now, if they really believed that TikTok was a threat, that shit would have been banned over 2 years ago. I promise you on every star in heaven. Let me tell you why they're trying to do this off the radar, under the rug, to where you don't pick up on it. Because first and foremost, they know it's a violation of your First Amendment right, as if they haven't been taking enough rights from everybody lately. Might as well throw this one on the chopping block too. The reason they're pushing so hard for this off the radar is because people like you and me keep posting all their grimy, shady shit. That's why they want to do away with it, because this is a great way for us to communicate via video with factual evidence of the bullshit that they pull. So that's why they're pushing for it, and they're doing it all under the guise of China information, which is bullshit. I promise you right now, the United States security as far as cyber is intense beyond your measure. Don't fall into the bullshit. Stop allowing them to take our rights. And it's time we get together as a people and fight the fuck back for the free America that we were fucking born in. Trust.
The most downloaded app in the world, one of the most downloaded apps in the world, is a social media company, TikTok. Could the Chinese government, through its ownership of ByteDance and ByteDance US, were willing to cooperate or forced to cooperate, could they use TikTok to control data on millions of users? Yes. Could they use it to control the software on millions of devices, given the opportunity to do so? Yes. Could they use it to drive narratives, like to divide Americans against each other? For example, let's say China wants to invade Taiwan, to make sure that Americans are seeing videos arguing why Taiwan belongs to China and why the U.S. should not intervene?
Yes, and I would make the point on that last one. In particular, that we're not sure that we would see many of the outward signs of it happening if it was happening.
Because I just got home from fucking dinner and I open up and I'm looking at the Wall Street Journal and it says US threatens ban if TikTok's Chinese owners don't sell steaks. So explain to me why. I want to know why you want to ban TikTok so bad. Is it because of the ownership? The foreign ownership? You don't want foreign ownership in media? Because I'm reading this on the Wall Street Journal, which is owned by an Australian billionaire. Rupert Murdoch, an Australian billionaire, owns the Wall Street Journal. He also owns Fox News. Is that foreign manipulation of the media? And I got the link to this from Twitter, which is owned by a South African madman. What's the line? What's the line here, Joe? Because I can also go follow all this back to Facebook, which is run by a reptilian from the fucking hollow earth, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay? This is just a series of psychopaths who own our media. We know this. You're gonna claim it's the data? Joe, if the Chinese want our data, they can just fucking buy the data on the free market that we love so much. The data is out there. It's been for sale for fucking 25 years. The first day somebody figured out how to sell the data, it was for fucking sale. What is it? You want to claim it's because you're afraid they're spying on us through the app? Then Joe, ban every electronic device for sale on Amazon. All of those devices are made in China. How are we not sure that they're not listening to us through our Amazon Alexas, our Google Home, or even Apple Siri? If you're gonna do this shit and convince the people that you're not trying to fucking silence all of us from speaking to each other and finally seeing each other's lives for the first time and not just reading angry tweets from each other like we did for the last fucking 10 years. We're not going back to blogs. We're not going back to fucking Instagram.
Okay, I just heard two questions on Capitol Hill or special counsel committee, whatever the fuck it is, that they're questioning the guy that runs TikTok, that tells you it's a complete fucking sham. They asked at any point in time, did their data collect exact GPS locations? Are you fucking kidding me? Google Maps, Facebook, geofencing, all that shit. Almost every app tracks your location. So when they do geofencing technology and they want to send you an ad because you're next to the McDonald's, that way it'll shoot an ad across your deal. That is a crock of shit. Every app does that. And then the second one was, do they sell the data to other parties? Are you kidding me? Do they sell the data to third parties? They said they don't, but are you kidding me? Every app we use in this country sells our data. That's the new goal. This is such a sham. Such a fucking sham. And I don't give a shit about TikTok. That's not why I'm saying it. It just shows the hypocrisy of our government. It shows that they're nothing but liars. It shows that they're nothing but, they're doing this for the money and because Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat is getting their ass handed to them. And that's what the government invested in so they could keep track of us.
I just saw a video that said if you want to know the reason why they're trying to delete TikTok, go to Instagram and search France, and then come back to TikTok and search France. Look at the difference.
Friends, what's happening with you today?
That's weird.
I never imagined after my parents fled a communist country to give us a better life here in America that I'm now faced with raising my child in just that environment. With the Pony Show hearing on TikTok, it's become quite evident that both the left and the right side of our government is against its people. 150 million to be exact. That's nearly half of the population. We are officially no better than North Korea, where the government decides where, how, and what its citizens share with one another. Freedom of speech is not given by the government. It is our God-given right. I have learned more from TikTok in a month than I did in the 4 years of university. There is something severely wrong when a Chinese CEO of TikTok is begging Congress to grant us Americans our freedom of speech that we are entitled to.
Love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby. Don't ever look back.
The TikTok ban and the Restrict Act is actually about is most simply illustrated by something going on in social media right now, today. If you search France on Instagram, this is what comes up. But on TikTok, if you search France, this is what you'll find. The TikTok ban and this whole concept of the Restrict Act isn't about anything but control, because people are actually communicating on this app in real time globally. Because the irony here is if it wasn't for this Chinese app, TikTok, we wouldn't know what was going on in the world, because this isn't covered anywhere else. And it's because Western superpowers and the tech companies that they are in bed with don't want us to know that the rest of the world is just as unhappy with their leadership as we are. They don't want us to realize globally that we're not as different as we think we are.
Now, Mark Zuckerberg has a dark past with TikTok that he doesn't want anyone knowing about right now. It's no secret that the banning of TikTok in the US would benefit Meta, but the lengths that Zuck has gone to make it happen is shocking. But before he wanted to get rid of it, he wanted to own it. In 2016, Zuckerberg was in serious talks with the founders of Musical.ly, which is now TikTok, but when the deal never happened, he tried to copy it with an app called Lasso. If you've never heard of it, it's because it failed miserably. But then when TikTok started taking off and Trump wanted to ban it in 2020, he began aggressively lobbying against TikTok in Washington. In a private dinner at the White House, he argued that China's internet firms posed a threat to American businesses and, quote, should be a bigger concern than reining in Facebook. Remember his position on China because this gets crazy. Now, after TikTok survived the first ban, the Washington Post received leaked emails confirming that Mark Zuckerberg paid a large consulting firm last year to organize a nationwide campaign with the primary goal of turning the public against TikTok. He officially entered his villain era at this point. One email read, "Dream would be to get stories with headlines like from dances to danger. How TikTok has become the most harmful social media space for kids." This was in reference to dangerous trends that supposedly started on TikTok, but after investigation turned out to have originated on Facebook. Other messages the firm was trying to push was that TikTok is the real threat, especially as a foreign-owned app that is #1 in sharing data that young teens are using. Sounds a lot like yesterday's hearing in Congress. But before he was worried about data being shared to China, he wanted to be in China. In efforts to get Facebook unbanned in the country, he learned Mandarin to give speeches, touted Chinese science fiction books to all of his followers, posted a photo of himself jogging through Tiananmen Square, and here's the wildest part, he even asked Chinese President Xi Jinping to bestow an honorary name on his then unborn daughter during a White House dinner. Fast forward to today, and all that hard work might just be paying off. And unfortunately for Mark Zuck, if anyone wants to look this stuff up, it's all public information.
Okay, Meta. Okay, Congress, let me make sure I have this completely fucking clear. This hospital, University of Louisville in Kentucky, has been selling patient information to Meta, violating federal privacy laws. Just to be clear, they knew it was illegal. They knew it was a violation of trust and privacy, but they did it anyway because they would financially benefit. Oh, but that's not all. Metapixel was embedded on the websites of 33 of the top 100 hospitals in the nation. But here you are banning freaking TikTok, knowing full well that the top hospitals in the nation are selling our private medical information to Meta. What?
So we're all in agreement that we're not going to let this dipshit win, right? And that if TikTok gets banned, that we're all going to delete Instagram and Facebook. I mean, we need to have some solidarity here. Let's tank this asshole's company and his stocks.
If Meta thinks that I'm going to go back to Instagram once TikTok is gone, that's hilarious. No. If TikTok's gone, that's it for me and content creation. I will just be becoming a productive member of society again.